A lot of us as women, we assume that my muscle in the bottom area being tight is going to be good for my husband. So how again is it a problem? Where does it become a dysfunction?
Tightness and strength, those are two different things.
Hey, okay. So yangu ilikuwa tight. Haikuwa
So
strong.
yours was tight. It was not strong. There are so many men who are waking up, who come to us and they say that actually it's not like they are suffering from any chronic diseases, like issues of hypertension and all that, but they wake up in the morning and they cannot get erection.
Guys, welcome back to Kalekye Mumo Live and Uncut. This is a place where we do stories that change people's perceptions, and we get to hear from you on what it is you would like us to discuss and who it is you would like me to handle in this amazing spot. Remember, this is a Zoom edition where I will be doing interviews from the safety of my house and have my guests in their own safe space, because we are aware that a pandemic like COVID-19 is not to be joked with, and that is why we are doing this. Now, last time we had an amazing conversation about the pelvic disorder. It is one of those things that not many of us know. There's a dysfunction, and also how important that pelvic floor muscle is, belonging to both men and women. It is not unique to women only. Now, this amazing show is coming live from my sitting room and all the way to the amazing Moshon Physiotherapy Centers, and that is a premier provider of manual-based physical therapy located on General Mazenge Drive, just around Westlands. And you know what? I love the way the place looks. If you have not stepped in yet, you want to check out this place. The colors are amazing, and they have the right amazing equipment, and of course a hydro pool, just to make sure that you are catered for whenever you have a problem with your physiotherapy. And they are not masseuses. That is what my friend Vicky Choi said. Hey Vicky, hi.
Hi Kalekye, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice to have you continue this conversation with us, because I think there's been a lot of people asking about the pelvic floor. When we last spoke and identified that it's a condition that has very many different elements that could pop up that can cause a man to have erectile dysfunction, over peeing, we've talked about those things. But to my understanding, there's the cause that I had, which was because of my working out and therefore tightening my muscles. But what other causes are there? What do we need to look out for?
Okay, so this is something which I really want to talk about, the causes of the pelvic floor dysfunctions or disorders. And I will classify it into female and male.
Okay.
And one of the factors when it comes to the female, it is childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Childbirth is really a big element when it comes to the weakness of the pelvic floor muscles. The other one can be pelvic surgery. Most of the women, they go through pelvic surgeries. Pelvic surgeries doesn't just mean that you have a problem. Maybe you've been done surgery for your abdomen, for your uterus. It can be even cesarean section. Oh. The other one is overweight.
Oh,
yes.
What? Even being overweight? Yeah.
Overweight. Overweight is actually a very big contributor of the weak pelvic floor muscles. Most of the time when people add weight, the weight comes to the belly and the hips. We also have issues of lifting weights. Repeated heavy lifting.
Yeah, lifting weights and
yes.
lifting also. You know how I have a friend who's obsessed with lifting weights, and he's, in my opinion, he's a short guy. I don't think he should be lifting such heavy things, but he's constantly there.
Yes, lifting weights can actually cause weak pelvic, because when you're lifting, the first thing they do is to stabilize your core abdomen, and the pelvic is the one which is really supporting. So that lifting heavy weights can actually cause weakness of the pelvic floor muscles.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing which really causes it is chronic constipation. Chronic constipation People who have constipation, when they go to the toilet, they tend to sort of like keep on pressing, pushing the poo to come out. And that pushing, actually, it is sort of like tightens. It tightens the pelvic floor muscles.
Wow. Wow.
So they start experiencing pains around there, and they're not really understanding, why am I getting pains around my pelvic region? But it is basically because of the chronic constipation. Frequent urinary tract infections, which we call them UTIs, they cause also pelvic floor tightness. What happens is that because of the pain, the frequent UTIs, they cause pain. So because of the pain, then a message is sent to the brain, to the muscles, try to contract and tighten so that you prevent the pain from getting worse. So that's what happens. So the muscles sort of like constantly contract because of the UTIs. And that's why even when people have UTIs, they frequent the toilet. The other thing is female genital mutilation, FGM. So like most of the people who have gone through FGMs, they have so many issues with their pelvic floor muscles because of the way the FGM is done down there. They have scars, the muscles are tight, it is traumatizing. So they sort of like live in that fear. They cannot actually even be able to be free when it comes to their sexual function.
So the
other thing which...
Wait, I want to understand that a little bit more. So if you're tense generally as a person around something like that, if you went through something as horrific as genital mutilation, you'll tend to keep tensing up and tightening because of how much fear you have. So even fear itself can cause you, if you have fear of sex, fear of anyone around that area, you can tense up.
Yes, you can tense up. So the issues of tensing up, they tense everywhere. You tense the whole body. And definitely the pelvic floor muscles, they get tense. First, you even have fear around there. So you sort of like live when you're squeezing yourself. You don't realize it. You only get to know about it if you're examined and told about it.
So does that mean
the people who have gone through sexual assault, they also experience those fears? So they remain constantly tensed. And those are the people whom we get, most of them, the cases we call vaginismus, which is difficult even to have sex. They can't be able to penetrate because they are full of fear. Somebody tells you, I'm in so much pain, I experience so much pain that I cannot take it.
So actually, that you called it vagina, what? That imepita. Ati? Huh?
Vaginismus.
Vaginismus. So that
vaginismus.
So that vaginismus can actually really affect the way you function because of the fear. I mean, if you find somebody who's afraid of sex completely, could that also be related to the way that sometimes, you'll find some people say when they broke their virginity, it was so painful. It could be that they were very scared and had been tensing up.
Yes, it is possible that that fear, when they remember about it, they sort of like tense and they don't want to experience it again. So it actually interferes so much even in marriage, because somebody is just there and you feel like, I don't want to do it. But you are married and you're like, so sometimes it becomes like, we actually say it is matrimonial sexual assault.
Oh, matrimonial.
Whereby the man wants to do it and you don't. But the reason as to why you don't want, it's because of the pain you're experiencing. But the man is not understanding, how are you experiencing pain?
So men also need to be educated on this particular juncture, because there's more to when a woman is saying she's feeling pain and she doesn't want than it's actually she's refusing. Because I think a lot of guys assume she's just being difficult, she's denying me, she's, like you're saying, it's matrimonial assault. So what would be your advice to the men right now on this issue?
On this issue, I would really advise the men, if you're woman tells you that I'm experiencing pain during sex, it is very important for you to take it as a problem and seek advice from a women health specialist who can guide you on how to go about it. Check your woman, assess, and if there are those issues of fear, they will be addressed. If it's issues of tightness, we'll be able to address them, and you will be able to enjoy your health sex.
Wow, wow. I think that's very important because, you know, this is our way of trying to save marriages and relationships, because a lot of people really walk away saying that this woman just used to deny me, and it's assumed it's not a real problem. So thank you for at least enlightening us on that part. Now, one of the things that I experienced when I was there was learning some certain breathing exercises. And let me just tell you, personally, I found it really hard because the breathing I know is the one of shikilia tumbo upigwe picha. You know the one I'm talking about, where we breathe in, hold
Yes,
our
I know that one,
and take photos. Now, when I was seeing you, you told me that that is the wrong way to do it. And I was like, how? What is the right way? Why is it different when you breathe in, that you should be opening up your system and breathing out as you tighten it up? Please just walk me through that.
Okay, the first thing I have to really let you people understand is that it is very important for us to be aware of your pelvic floor. And for you to be aware of the pelvic floor, I usually say that look, have an aspect of a balloon. A balloon expands from the bottom. So for you to be able to feel your pelvic floor, whether it is functioning or not, you need to take a deep breath in through your nose and expand your tummy from the bottom. And as you breathe in, try to feel whether your anus, your sphincters down there, whether they are opening. If you feel they are not opening, then definitely you're not aware of your pelvic floor.
Let me tell you, Vicky, one of the things that I was like, what are those things you're asking me to feel? You know, it's almost like I'm supposed to feel something there. Is that thing supposed to feel something when it's not being touched? It's almost like we don't know it exists. Like, how do we start being aware that this thing exists?
Yes, so that is when, if you practice that, like I tell all my clients, okay, sit down nicely and feel your buttocks are seated on the chair. And when you're on there, try to take a deep breath in through your nose with your mouth closed, feeling your tummy and not your chest. Feeling your tummy with the air and not your chest. And then when you feel in, try to feel whether you can feel your buttocks giving way, your anus opening, your birth canal opening, and then try to breathe out and close it nicely as you breathe out, and then you relax. So that is one thing which I really train them to be aware of their pelvic. If you become aware of your pelvic, it becomes very easy for you to be able to work on it. Because one thing, pelvic floor, we look at a number of things there. If it is a tight pelvic floor, I'm not going to give you Kegels.
Speaking of Kegels, let me tell you, the day I learned how to hold my pee in between, I was peeing, it's now at the height of peeing, naishikilia, alafu na count 1, 2, 3, naachilia. I thought that's what we're supposed to do. I really thought that's what we're supposed to do.
That is very wrong. That is very wrong. And that is now the perception which we say that people run so fast to Dr. Google and they say that I know how to do Kegels, but you do the wrong thing and you end up destroying your pelvic floor muscles. Number one, you're not supposed to do Kegels by stopping urine. You're injuring your sphincter muscles.
Wow. Hey. Let me tell you, there are a lot of women saying, Ati what? Explain again. How?
The only thing the Kegel explains that try to contract your muscles as if you're stopping your pee, but doesn't say when you go to the toilet, contract your muscles by stopping the pee. Those are two different things.
So we heard the wrong thing. We heard stop your pee, but it was like you are stopping.
Thank you.
Wow.
And now this is where it comes, those of, you go to the toilet and then people keep on stopping the pee. And they're very busy coming and telling me, but Vicky, I've been doing exercise, I've been doing Kegels, but this problem is still persisting.
For sure, I was one of those people, and hiyo tabia niliacha after niambiwe. One of the other things that is out there is that there are a lot of myths around this pelvic muscle health, like you told us. Some people say that I go to the gym, I work out hard, so obviously then all my muscles must be good. Nyinyi, it's because you don't work out. I've understood about the weight, but then what is this obsession with working out? Can you please educate the people who think that helps?
No, working out, first I tell everyone, going to the gym and working out, it is not wrong. Because sort of like exercises your whole body and you feel good about it and all that. That is very important. But what people don't understand is you exercise your legs, you exercise your arms, you exercise your back, but do you actually exercise your pelvic floor? No. So what happens is that people go to the gym and lift the weights. And the worst thing is the sit-ups.
Oh, activity, wait. It's the worst.
Yes, it's the worst. We are very busy going to the gym and saying that we are doing sit-ups. When you're doing sit-ups destroy the pelvic floor muscles. They make them weak because you're constantly sitting up and applying so much abdominal pressure, which is pushing on your pelvic floor muscles. And that's why most of the people who go to the gym, they may not really have what we call constant leakage. But somebody will tell you, but how comes that when I run, I feel something is leaking, like I'm wet. When I cough or sneeze heavily, urine comes out, it leaks. So I have to sort of like wear a liner because sometimes it's embarrassing.
Right.
So it is because of constantly straining those muscles. So you're pushing them, you're putting a lot of abdominal pressure because of doing sit-ups. Sit-ups are not good.
So what do we do when we are told that to reduce your stomach, you should do sit-ups? I mean, now I'm all confused.
No. There are so many exercises which we give for abdominal, for toning your core without doing sit-ups.
Wow.
And one of them, just a practical thing, if you lie on your back and just try to blow out, even when you're seated there now, Kalekye, just sitting nicely, I just want you to just try and blow as if you're blowing fire slowly, and you will feel your stomach muscles contracting and coming close to each other.
Yeah, I feel like it's rising up.
Exactly. So you will do that and you'll feel like it is closing, like it is really squeezing together.
Yes.
So we have so many techniques which we do for toning your core without doing sit-ups. We discourage sit-ups.
So for right now, then my advice would be that stop with the sit-ups and get in touch with Vicky at Moshon Physiotherapy Centers, Upper General Madenge Drive. Get yourself to understand these things, and I'm sure they can also find information online on your website about this kind of exercise. Correct?
Yes, they can get everything online. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we have our website is active.
Awesome. So before I let you go, I want you to just first of all give us your one most important message to people about managing their pelvic floor, and then I'm going to ask for my own personal parting shot.
My parting shot is that women, please don't fear talking about your issues And don't close yourself and feel stigmatized because of the pelvic issues. Come out, talk about them. And not only women, even men, come and experience the touch of having a healthier life when it comes to your sexual function. And for women, please remember, Kegels are good, but Kegels are not for everyone.
Wow! Kegels are good, but they are not for everyone. Maybe nitakuwa tu nina breathe in and breathe out. Oh my goodness. The exercises are really helpful, I must say, and breathing in through your nose and filling up your stomach from the bottom going up. You cannot avoid feeling those parts open. Those openings, they will open because you have taken away from them. And as you blow out, as you lose air, your diaphragm goes up, everything should go up. That is what I have learned from Vicky at Moshon Physiotherapy Centers. I tell you, it's amazing. So Vicky, one more thing before I let you go. I want you to tell us something about yourself that people don't know. Most of your patients who might watch this, they know you as Vicky is a physiotherapist who's married to Bernard, and has 2 children. We want something that nobody would know, something unique about you.
Something unique about me, Kalekye, is that I'm very social and very easy to open to. When you come to me, my smile alone will make you open up.
Let me testify. The first time I met her, by the time I was leaving there, I was busy telling her about my personal life. This guy who's hitting on me, CG, what I tell you, it is more than just physiotherapy. It's more about friendship, caring, and that's what I get when I go to Moshon Physiotherapy Centers. Vicky, thank you so much for taking the time, to share this with me, and I know it will help so many people out there. If they have more questions, I will be sharing your information for Moshon Physiotherapy, and I'm sure they'll find you there.
Thank you, Kalekye.
All right. So guys, this is Kalekye Mumo, live and uncut, the one place where we get to change your perspectives on different elements of life. And this particular one I had to share because it's something that I went through, and I know there are many of you who might be sitting at home going through something similar and not knowing what to do. Let's work on our pelvic floor muscles. They carry our stomach, our backs, they hold us together and cradle us together as we move about our business. So guys, make sure that you have watched part 1 if you missed out on it, just to understand where this conversation began, and subscribe by clicking that link so that you get a notification every time we have a brand new episode. This is but just the first of our Zoom series as we keep safe and remember to take care of ourselves with that social distancing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.